Alright, it's the day of the seminar. Let's fucking do this. Alright, first of all, I am completely speechless from that entire seminar. I know this video is super long and I don't know if I'm going to separate this out into 2 videos yet, or I might just keep it super long, so I'll include this clip in the beginning. I apologize in advance. This video is very long, but there is a lot of good quality content in here. Not a lot of editing, just a lot of raw footage of Layne discussing nutrition and training. So let's get into it.
Appreciate it. You're probably wondering, is this guy really going to give a seminar wearing tights? Yes, I am. You have a problem with it? There's the door. So you guys got me here not because of my good looks, but because of science, right? Because I'm a science geek. Because I can drop this stuff. Usually, and I promise I won't yell at you like I do on my Instagram stories. They're so angry all the time. I'm not angry. I'm passionate. It's a difference. Sometimes I'm angry too, and that's my best Instagram stories. So, but science, people get it wrong a lot of times. So people think that like science, so in science, you can never prove anything, okay? So you can only disprove things. Now you can support things with data, okay? So like, gravity worked again for the how many billionth or zillionth time, okay? So gravity's not proven. Maybe something comes out tomorrow that disproves it. But we have such an overwhelming amount of data that says if I drop that spoon, it's going to rush towards the ground at 9.8 meters per second squared, that we just accept it as true, right? So my friend, Dr. Jeremy Layne, always says, I have data I'm willing to bet my toe on, my foot on, my leg on, and my life on. So I bet my life on gravity, right? Does that make sense? So when some things aren't quite as clear cut, maybe we've only got a few studies on them, maybe the data is kind of ambiguous. So what I try to do is I'm going to give you guys my best opinion of the data that's out there. And sometimes there's not going to be any data. A lot of stuff, when we talk about the actual practical application of reverse dieting, there's no empirical data, okay? A lot of it's just my observation with clients. And I'll tell you guys that. I won't try and bullshit. No bullshit. No bullshit. Okay? I'm not one of those people out there who will try and make up stuff. If there's no research behind it, and it's just my experience, I will tell you that. Okay? It doesn't mean it's not relevant. It just means you can take what you want. Never, ever, ever call yourself fat. Because if you have a daughter, you will give her an eating disorder. Period. That is 100% the truth. Call yourself fat in private, think it in your head, do not say it in front of your daughter. You will 100% give them an eating disorder. I'm just being real with you. It is a huge deal. Sorry, my brain's full there. I do that sometimes when I go to a rabbit hole, I get distracted, so So you can decline the total energy expenditure. Every component of energy expenditure is affected to some extent. So for example, the bulk of your daily energy expenditure is from what we call your resting energy expenditure or resting metabolic rate, okay, your RMR, right? So that's if I took you, laid you down, had you completely at rest but not asleep, how many calories you burn, okay? That is actually the bulk, so basically just keeping the lights on. That's the bulk of the energy you use every day, okay? Well, for most of us, except for maybe some of our cardio buddies. You get decreased non-resting energy expenditure, so exercise. So I'll get this. So your body will actually get more efficient at how many calories it burns during exercise. It'll burn less calories during exercise. And you all ever know that person who's always doing cardio and is like on the treadmill, I burned 900 calories on the treadmill. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Because first off, because you do it so often, your body has gotten so skilled at the movement, it burns less calories, okay? Then, your metabolism is adapting to that. How many of y'all have been on a bro prep where you're doing 2 hours of cardio a day? Have you ever done that? Like when you first started doing it, you lost a lot of weight, and then all of a sudden it was like You need to do that amount of cardio just to like maintain. Yeah, that's actually shown in scientific literature. You also have lower voluntary exercise. So like people who fidget, we call this NEAT, non-exercise adaptive thermogenesis. Like people who fidget a lot, you like actually stop fidgeting while you're dieting. Actually stop, like just like basic, very small things you don't even think about, you stop doing it. Okay. But I have a better example of that. My last series of shows, I was laying on the couch and I was watching, there was a TV show on that I did not like watching. And the remote was probably from me to that powering bottle. I damn well was not getting up to get that remote. I watched that whole, whatever, Real Housewives of Norton.
Wow.
Praying for somebody to come and just put me out of my misery. I didn't want to get up to turn it off. Move. Just kind of curled up and like, moved over so I wasn't watching it. I was just hearing it. You know. So lower voluntary exercise. Everybody, you guys know that, right? Like when you're dieting, you're very lean. Like just walking up steps, you're like, look at the steps, you're like, this is gonna hurt. My friend Paul Novella actually said that like when you're that lean and you're doing like that steady state cardio, he called it that hour of soul sucking cardio. Anybody know what that feels like? You know, just like I remember on my last prep being on like getting on the elliptical and be like, all right, I'm gonna do 40 minutes, all right. So I'm going and I'm just fucking miserable, and I'm like, I gotta be like halfway done. I look down at 2 minutes and 37 seconds in, and I'm like, oh God! You also get decreased thermic effective food. So our bodies are kind of like internal combustion engines, right? So a car has got to put energy in to get energy out of the gasoline, okay? Or the petrol. Do you guys say petrol or gasoline?
Yes.
Okay, only one person who says petrol. So you got to put energy in to get energy out. Now the energy you get out is always greater than the energy you put in, otherwise your car would just die on the side of the road, right? Same thing with your body, okay? That's why when people say there are no calorie negative foods, I'm sorry, that doesn't exist. There are no calorie negative foods. There are foods that require more energy than others. Okay, so like protein, fiber are all thermogenic. They require several times more energy to get energy out of than carbohydrate or fat. But they're not free, okay? They're not free, we'll be very clear on that. But, so that thermic effective food, your body will get more efficient in extracting energy out of the food you intake. Okay, and we'll talk more about this here in a little bit. It's like your body's, so leptin's your body's thermostat. So if you have a thermostat set at, like say, you guys use Celsius, right? 21, okay? And it gets too hot, the air conditioning kicks on, moves back down, right? If it's too cold, the heater kicks on, moves back up, right? Leptin is the same way, right? If you like to be around, like say 10% body fat, as you start to lose body fat, you're gonna lower your leptin secretion, make you hungrier, try to get you back up to that where you're comfortable, okay? Same thing, but it works the opposite way too. Like, if you're overeating, leptin's gonna go up, and it's gonna make you less hungry, try to prevent you from going too high, okay? And we can override these signals, but in general, that's how it works. Something interesting happens. If you've gone through a diet, this is in rats, so I don't want to oversell it. I'm going to show you a slide on this here in a second. It's probably going to make you all heads explode. If you regain weight too rapidly, you can actually cause differentiation of new fat cells. Okay? And this could cause establishment of a new body fat set point. Now, instead of me talking you guys through this, let me just show you. So mostly your body fat set point is going to be sensed by the size of each individual fat cell. Okay? Usually that is just associated with your level percentage of body fat, because typically your fat cell number doesn't change. Okay? If it changes, then the game changes. Okay? Let me show you why. Alright, so this is an experiment done by McLean, the guy whose paper I was referring to. And he took rats, yes, rats, because humans can't get it happening. When people ask, why do they do it in humans? Because I can't surgically remove all the fat out of a human. Some people would probably like it if they did, but it is not ethical. It would not get past an IRB. Also, just as an aside, I'm going to scroll here for a second. People say, usually I'll push up something, well, they didn't do it in bodybuilders. You know why we don't do experiments in bodybuilders? One, there's no funding. Who's going to fund it? And two, bodybuilders suck as test subjects. Y'all suck as test subjects. You're like the biggest pains in the ass to work with. And by bodybuilders, I'm talking about figure, bikini, physique, whoever. Because let's say we're going to do a study on high protein intake versus low protein intake. How many of y'all going to be in the low protein group? You're going to be all about that study until you find out you're in the low protein group. I'm not doing this study. I'm dead serious. That's what happens. They just stop doing the research. So that's why there's no studies in bodybuilders. Just saying. Because I'd say break. I'd be like, no, peace out. I'm good. We were trying to do Lord Conlon did a flexible dieting versus inflexible dieting study, and we had people who were like, yeah, I want to be in the study, and then they found out they were in the meal plan group, and they were like, nope, not coming. All right, so this was in rats, but we can do some cool stuff in rats that we can't do in humans. Okay. Speaking of thermostats, hoping he's raising that because I'm freezing my balls off right now. Good man, good man. So what they did was they looked at taking rats through a diet and then refeeding them and then seeing what happened to their body fat cell number and cell size. Okay? So when they started them, they were 700 grams and they had 37 million fat cells. 37 million. And the size of each individual fat cell was approximately 103 microns. Okay? They were reduced to around 600 grams, so a seventh of their body weight, which, if you think about how people diet, think about what a seventh of your body weight would be like, that's a relatively reasonable diet, okay? Maybe somewhat aggressive. The size got down to 86 microns, and the number didn't change. Okay? So the number stayed the same, right? So you can see with this number of fat cells just shrunk. During early relapse, so once that was done, at this point right here, they just put the food in the cages and said, have at it, boys. Go crazy, have as much as you want. Okay? YOLO! So during early relapse, they've only regained 20 grams, so a fifth of the weight they lost. And the fat cell numbers increased by 50%. 50%. Okay? By the time they got back to their previous weight at 700 grams, so the increase was initial. It was right in the first few weeks of overfeeding. Now, they relapsed to the previous weight. What was interesting was they still were overfeeding. Has anybody had this experience where you diet down, you get back to your previous weight, but you're still hungrier than when you started, when you were at that weight previously? I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm just saying that it kind of fits. And so, in order to guess where they stopped regaining weight? Anybody? Any A students in here? They stopped regaining weight where their individual fat cells got back to the original size, which is 100, so 100, 203 microns here versus here. Except now, because they have more fat cells, their total body fat mass is greater. Does that make sense? Okay. So they were up to 740 grams. Maintaining your body weight 1,500 calories a day, not a good place to diet. Having to do 2 hours of cardio a day to maintain your weight, not a good place to diet. I'm sorry. I lose so many clients, potential clients over the years. I've probably left over $100,000 on the table for potential client money. I'm not exaggerating. On people I told, I'm not going to diet you. And they go work with somebody else who tells them what they want to hear. Because I'm sorry, I'm not going to lie to you. Okay? So before you even start the diet, you want to maximize that metabolic rate. You want to make sure they're in a good metabolic position to actually diet. Right? It's like Cheyenne. Even though she gained more body fat than she wanted, she was in a good metabolic position to diet. You guys see what I'm talking about there? Right? Then you want to minimize the slowing of the metabolic rate during the diet. Okay? So that's very simple. Diet on as many calories as you can. You can lose weight on 2,200 calories a day. By God, don't do 1,500. All right? Give yourself enough time. Go slow. Let it be something sustainable. All right? You got to think about the long game. All right? And recover your metabolic rate while minimizing fat regain. Okay, we'll talk about how this is different for everybody. What's that? Break in 5 minutes? Actually, okay. So, recover your metabolic rate by minimizing fat regain. This is where we're on the reverse diet. And it's got to be, all these plants, I get this all the time. I say, most girls don't do what Lauren did, and most people do, they go, I want to be shredded, I want to stay lean. I'm like I feel myself kind of like an attorney. Like attorneys, like if you're in a negotiation for something, like they'll try to be like, that's not reasonable, that's not going to work. But at the end of the day, you tell the attorney they have to do this, they actually by law have to do it. Okay? So I try to talk people out of this, but at the end of the day, if they told me okay, fine, we'll try it. Right? And I'll get people like trying to start the reverse without a calorie boost, you know, only increasing their intake by 5% or whatever it is, and they just can't stick to it. And they're just failing over and over. And like, okay, how about instead of having this ideal of what we would do, let's actually do what's reasonable. Okay? Let's do something you can actually stick to.
I've heard people talk about aggressive reverse dieting and soft reverse dieting. What would be some reasons you would do aggressive reverse diet as compared to soft?
If you care more about gaining muscle than you do about staying lean, if you were just so tired of feeling like crap that you wanted to feel better faster, if you value those things more, like there's, and I'm not saying you have to do conservative reverse.
What if you have a show coming up in 10 weeks?
And you've just finished dieting?
Yeah.
I would say probably do a conservative reverse, because if you do an aggressive reverse, yes, your metabolism will get back to normal faster, but you'll also gain a lot more body fat than you would do a conservative. So everything's a trade-off. You know? I would also say don't stick your last show and your next show 10 weeks apart. It's kind of
So that there's obligations. Oh, no, I was just referring to that. So there's obligations with co-workers and stuff. You have to be within 6 months to a year.
What? 6 months?
Yeah.
They dumb?
It's a bad rule.
Wait, is that the IMBF?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry guys.
1 year.
Is it 1 year? 1 year's fine, yeah. We're good. 1 year's so I would say, in that case, a conservative. Yes.
Okay, I assume you know who Views Pete is.
I do.
Okay, so there's a lot of people saying and talking about the reasons why he's got cancer so many times. They say it's in relation to his eating.
Yeah, people should shut the hell up.
So my question is, what's your opinion on that?
It costs people 0% to not be a freaking asshole. I'm sorry, like, I know Vegan Gains did a video about him saying he deserved to get cancer.
Yeah, so and that's what I'm saying. Lots of people say that, like,
I mean, at the end of the day, there's
large meat intake did it and his binge eating did it, but what's your opinion?
Sometimes shit just happens.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I mean, could it have contributed? Maybe, but we don't know. You know, like, the whole meat and cancer thing, that is, they reported that it's an 18% increase in cancer risk if you eat meat. The real data, what it says, is that your risk goes from 5.5% to 6.5%. It's actually a 1% increase in risk. But they did the relative difference. So if you take 6.5 minus 5.5 divided by 6.5, that's 18%. Does that make sense? Okay. So if you actually ask oncologists, most of them will tell you like 1% like that. They're like, I wouldn't even consider that like a measurable difference. But instead, the World Health Organization feels they can qualify in the same category as freaking nicotine and cigarettes. Because apparently people running that organization are also idiots. like most government organizations. You guys don't realize how much politics also plays in. I'm going to get you guys one second. You put your hands down so I don't fall asleep. Politics plays into food. Let me give you an example. Because as much as I rant on the anti-sugar stuff, anti-fat was rampant back in the 70s and 80s. Okay. The reason that started was there was a committee formed in the 1960s to look at hunger in America, right? And if you can imagine this, at the end of that study, they had $2 million left over. God, you ever imagine a government organization having money left over? Apparently they finished on time too, my God. And they took that $2 million, they said, well, there's about 5% of the population that's obese at the time. Well, let's look at this stuff because it seems to be a problem. We don't really know much about obesity and heart disease. The senator who was the head of that commission had lost a significant amount of body weight on the Ornish diet, which was a very high carbohydrate, very low fat diet. The entire thing was completely biased from the beginning. They funded studies to try to show that fat, and specifically saturated fat and cholesterol, were what was causing heart disease. And after billions of dollars, they still never showed that link. They never were able to establish a causal link. Okay? Politics gets into research, unfortunately. Okay? And that's the same thing with meat. Right? I hate to say it, but the grain lobbies and the animal lobbies are on different ends of the spectrum. And both fund studies to try and show negative things about the other. Okay? Now, I'm not saying all the research is bad. It's not the case. I'm just saying it's biased. Right? Biased doesn't mean it's crap. It just means it's biased. Everything's biased. But in looking at the data on meat and cancer, I can't tell you that it 100% makes no difference. But if you control for calories, because people eat meat tend to eat more calories. You control for fiber intake, because people eat meat tend to eat less fiber. You control for exercise, because people eat meat tend to just have a more unhealthy lifestyle overall. And you control for consumption of polyaromatic hydrocarbons, which are, when you char meat, the charred portions contain carcinogenic polyaromatic hydrocarbons. You can just cut that piece of charred meat off and you'll be fine. But if you control for those variables, the association of cancer with meat kind of goes away. Who next?
Okay, so I have a question. You did your PhD in BCAAs, leucine specific growth effect on muscle protein synthesis, correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So with the new information that's out now, they may be showing that BCAAs might not have as much of an effect, like Stu Phillips saying that so long as protein intake is adequate, you don't need having to see something.
Okay, so
something similar to that, but
yeah.
Would you still recommend BCAAs to your clients?
So this is where our words become important, because need is a much different word than optimal or useful, right? You don't need any supplements by definition for supplements. Okay? You don't need creatine. You don't need BCAAs. You don't need citrulline. But some of those things can have value. I would say that branched chains are not a muscle building supplement. They're a recovery supplement. Okay? So they will decrease delayed onset muscle soreness, improve your recovery from the workout, enable you to get back in the gym faster and not be as sore. So in that way they can be useful. But I would not classify them necessarily as a muscle builder. No. Yes.
I just wanted to go back to the sugar thing. So say you have like 70 grams of sugar one day, and then the next day you double that, so your kidneys are working harder. So, and you keep doing that over time, would that do damage to your kidneys at all? Or?
Kidneys are more of an overall solute load. And the thing is, if you keep doubling your sugar intake, eventually it just becomes a calorie thing. Like, it's just the overall amount of solutes the kidney has to filter. Because if you get anything too high, it's hard on the kidney. Protein, carbohydrate, fat, sodium, whatever. Now, if you drink enough water, that tends to go away. But yeah, it's more of an overall solute load on the kidneys. It seems to make a difference.
What's your opinion on this keto diet thing? It's driving me crazy. Everyone's like, keto, like it's all about fats and carbs.
So, research is very, very clear. If you control calories and protein, the keto is not better for you for fat loss.
Is not.
No. Now, it's about the same. Okay, so if you like keto, then that's fine. You can do keto. But I realize that will offend the church of ketogenic dieting. Because because there is a church and they act like zealots. But yeah, it's just not right. Now, there are uses for the ketogenic diet, like epilepsy, Alzheimer's, cancer, diseases where providing an alternate fuel substrate can be useful. But the problem is most people who do keto, like freaking Joe Rogan, they're not actually doing keto. They're doing a low carbohydrate diet. Low carbohydrate is not necessarily keto. Keto is a very high fat intake, very high.
And very low protein.
Like 80% of your calories from fat. Like you're over 100%. It's okay, he's low carb. No, but it's like 80%, 80%, 15%, 5%, that sort of thing. Now there is the modified ketogenic diet, which is like 70% calories from calories from 70% carbohydrate, 20 to 25% protein, 5 to 10% carbohydrate. But yeah, ketogenic is not necessarily low carb. It's very, very high fat. So yeah, most people that say they're doing keto actually don't do keto. I chuckle when these bodybuilders are like, yeah, no, Dave Palmer's ketogenic diet, and they're eating like 300 grams of protein a day, 50 grams of fat. No. Anyways. Somebody else have a question?
Yeah. So with the reverse diet, how do you gauge how much calories you should add weekly? And when do you know you can stop that maintenance? Like when I've done it, it's just from like 100 calories a week, and I kind of guess what my maintenance is.
Yeah.
How would I gauge that?
So I'll typically look at how somebody's responding. Like if they're gaining weight too fast, I'll back it off.
What would be
Depends
not
on
so
the
much
person.
for like just
Yeah, I mean, that's your individual definition.
Okay.
Like in terms of what their goal is, like in terms of their body fat level. Does that make sense?
yeah.
So if you're gaining, a pound a week, and you're like, okay, this is going to start getting to the point where I'm uncomfortable, I back it off. Or sometimes I'll just not increase 1 week or 2 weeks, just stay steady, let everything get kind of at a steady state, and I'll start adjusting again. A lot of reverse diets aren't just linear; it's kind of stair-step, right? Like you'll be able to increase calories a little bit, and then you got to hold steady, and then you can increase, and then you got to hold steady, and then you can increase, and you got to hold steady, and it can go like that as well. Yeah, so that's the hard part about reverse dieting yourself, is like knowing what to
Was
do.
that the reverse diet the way you actually got it?
Sometimes, yeah. But a lot of people, what I caution people on is they'll say, well, I reverse dieted this way, nice and slow, I didn't gain much weight, so should I diet back down to the same weight? No, because you don't want your metabolism adapting with your intake on the way down. Like you want to pull enough calories that, for lack of a better term, I hate this term, shocks your body. Because and this is another thing I had a problem with. I saw at an obesity conference. They figured out that based on the amount of fat people gain after age 30 to age whatever 60, that it's basically just a caloric surplus of about 20 calories a day. So they say if we just cut 20 calories out of people's diets, they lose weight. I promise you, if you take 20 calories out of your diet, nothing is going to happen. Nothing will happen, right? That's a sneeze. You know what I mean? So it has to be enough to jolt. God, I wish I had a better term. Does that make sense though?
Yeah, and then when do you know when to stop just when you start gaining weight?
Yeah, I mean, when you get to a caloric intake that you're comfortable with, that you feel good at, and you're comfortable body fat wise, or yeah, you kind of linearly start gaining weight. That's what I was thinking. Yes.
I've actually.
Yeah, sorry. Let's just try to get everybody once, and if you have a second round, we'll get the other questions.
Kristen.
So if you have like a female competitor who has like, maybe she loses her menstrual cycle or something like that, would you maybe implement more of like a recovery diet instead of doing like a conservative reverse diet? Or
The question was for you, because I don't know if everybody heard it, but if you have a female who's having amenorrhea, so loses her menstrual cycle, would you institute more of like a recovery diet, something that where you're adjusting calories up more aggressively? So if your goal is to regain your cycle, yes. But What I will say is I don't think the loss of the cycle is dangerous in and of itself.
Okay.
And everybody loses that at a different level. Like some females can get below 18% body fat, they still lose it. Some they have to get below like 9% to lose it. Now obviously if you're wanting to have children, get pregnant, that's probably something that you want to gain back. But as far as the research data goes, it doesn't seem like there's anything necessarily inherently dangerous just about that particular thing. Now, the fact that you're losing it may mean that you're at a pretty low body fat and you have some other unhealthy habits that are dangerous. But the loss of the cycle in and of itself does not seem to be dangerous.
Like, how do you determine good research studies to that? Right? Because they're always going to.
By following the right people. As bad as it sounds, Zach, because unless you want to go get a graduate degree, it's so hard to know.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, I just saw like one where PCA, they're saying like it helps gain body mass, but then was it the company that makes Extend or whatever?
Yeah, sedation. Well,
Yeah.
but keep in mind, just because something's funded by a company doesn't necessarily mean it's. So I heard a good quote the other day, and it said, if your only criticism of a study is the funding source, it says more about your bias than the researchers, right? So just because a company funded doesn't mean it's necessarily bad in itself. That's why we have to disclose. Like my research was funded by the Dairy Council. We found that whey was the best protein source. So people could say, oh, well, of course you did. You were funded. But it just was. Like I never had anybody from the Dairy Council come in the lab and be like, fudge that maybe a little bit, make that 11% compared to 5. You know, that never happened. In fact, I talked to one person from the Dairy Council for 5 minutes in the entire 6 years I was at the University of Illinois. So now that may be unique. That may happen differently at different places.
What do you?
I'm fanboying. This is not a squat. It's deadlift.
I'm a beast. I'm a motherfucking 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 beast. When the sun rises, I wake up and chase my dreams.